I know, for example, that many of you have had to get visa to come to Kenya, but I have some good news for you. This may be the last time you are getting a visa to come to Kenya.
Hey y'all, Kenya is on the move. If you haven't heard, we got some wonderful information we are excited to share with you. But check this out before.
You're watching KTN News Desk. Thank you so much for staying with us. President William Ruto says African Continental Free Trade Area countries may soon be traveling to Kenya without visa. During the ongoing African private sector dialogue, the president noted that Africa should come together in order to be able to speak in one voice on global issues. Here is part of his address.
To recognize that the guided trading initiative formulated to accelerate the implementation of the SCFTA did launch, and that Kenya was among the earliest exporters under the initiative. Since then, a number of countries have joined the initiative and commenced their exports. I encourage those countries that have not yet joined the initiative to do so and explore the wonderful free trade possibilities that they will be able to promptly access. Further, I challenge our ministers as they deliberate on the most appropriate resolutions to the outstanding issues in connection with the protocols to envision a unified Africa and promote the creation of coherent regional value chains whose outputs will bear the proud Made in Africa distinction. This is how we will make it possible to market the continent abroad as a single investment area. I have today informed my brother, President Goulet. From today, it is now possible for you to travel to Nairobi and Kenya without the requirement. And it is because you are all aware that Kenya is the cradle of mankind. That is the place where the earliest remains of man were found. That means all of us, from wherever you come from, the origin was in Kenya. When you come to Kenya, you are coming home. And it is not fair for anybody to be asked for a visa when they are going home. You agree?
Yes, it's true. The president of Kenya is allowing Black Americans to come and live in Africa visa-free. Not only Black Americans, but everyone of African descent. This is part and parcel of his agenda of unifying Africa to a borderless policy Africa. So in order for you to have a clear picture, I want you to watch these videos because I've arranged clips for you in order for you to get the full picture. So gather information in context is what I request of you. Let's dive into this video. I'll get back in the end.
Africa has been arbitrarily and prejudicially profiled as risky for investment on entirely spurious grounds. As a result, the volumes and financing available for African development are traditionally minute, and the cost of these finances is notoriously extortionate. It is difficult to avoid concluding that in terms of development financing architecture, the global system is rigged against African progress.
We're pretty geeked right about now. We're pretty amped, okay?
Excited. And particularly being a person of color in the diaspora.
Black man.
Wanting to be welcomed and wanting to have a place to call home if they choose to come to the continent. This is exciting news for us, for those people. And one reason being, we've had many countries do the year returns, where they're welcoming Black Americans or welcoming Black people in the diaspora to come to the country and just see what the country has to offer. But a lot of times when they come, they're just coming to see the country. There's nothing put in place to welcome the people. There's nothing put in place to make a transition easy for them. Or it doesn't even have to be easy, but at least it's something put in place for the person to come and welcome you into the country. So we've been doing some research, and all right, every time, y'all already know, it's going to come to me.
It's the sweetness.
It's every time.
They love the sweetness.
And it didn't even think about you. You had
ain't sweet like that.
Unbelievable. So anyway, back to that. So we were researching, and we found out to this date that there's no African country that has put in place a welcoming where anyone in the Black diaspora can come and is visa free for them. No African country has put that in place. Exclusively. The Black man, the Black woman. Right. Now, we do know that there's between 8 and 10 countries on the continent that made it visa free for Americans, which is great. Yeah. But nothing put in place for the Black American or the Black Canadian, the Black from any other country. Unless you have that blue passport, then you're allowed to come in visa free. So that's kind of disheartening, because for a lot of us, we're thinking we're coming home. And why do we have to pay something to come back home? And you don't think of just a visa one time. When someone's trying to move home, you're paying visas and paying for just to have the right to be in that country over and over and over again. And it's not for your whole family, it's per person.